This evening I want us to think a little bit about things that are going on in our world. There's one of the songs that we sometimes sing that talks about troublesome times. Troublesome times are here. Certainly that is the case here in our country. We haven't been here before. God knows the future. God holds the future in His hand. One of the blessings, I would call it a blessing, that I've had in recent months and being out, being more active in my neighborhood, I've had the opportunity to meet a number of my neighbors on a basis other than simply going to the door and saying, I'm a preacher or I'm with the church and want to invite you to our services. I've been able to meet a number of individuals on another basis. Had the opportunity to meet probably at least 10 or 12 of my neighbors in my neighborhood and to walk with probably at least 6 or 8 of them just to spend some time together talking about various matters. There's a man in my neighborhood, his name is Joe. The other morning, I was out walking, maybe around 6 in the morning, and he was out moving his vehicle, someone getting ready to work on his roof. I stopped, talked to him for a moment. He said, have you heard? Have you heard about the shooting in Dallas? No, I haven't. What happened? He began to tell me about what occurred the night before. And as so many of us, on hearing that, Joe was very alarmed. It's not an exaggeration to say that we can get worked up over such as that. We were talking, we continued on, and Joe, I believe he's retired military, and he said something that no one has ever said to me before. He said, I would take a bullet for you. I said, I appreciate that. He said, I'm not afraid to die. But then again, he knows I'm a preacher, he knows I'm a Christian. He said, you shouldn't be either. I said, I'm not. You and I, we need to live our lives so that we don't have to be afraid to die. We don't know what the future holds. We do know that we're living in troublesome times. I like to pause just here and thank our law enforcement officers. We've got a number of individuals here, perhaps some are retired, but we have men, perhaps ladies as well, who serve in this capacity in our city, perhaps in our county. And I want to pause just to say thank you. Thank you for your service. Thank you for what you do in keeping us safe. We appreciate the risk that you take on a daily basis for us. The Bible says in 2 Timothy 3, 1 through 5, but understand this, that in the last days there will come times of difficulty. People will be lovers of self, lovers of money, proud, arrogant, abusive, disobedient to the parents, ungrateful, unholy, heartless, unappeasable, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not loving good, treacherous, reckless, swollen with conceit, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of God, having the appearance of godliness but denying its power. And he concludes this thought with this: avoid such people. there are people that are dangerous. There are people whose hearts are going in the wrong direction. There are people who can be dangerous and treacherous. He said, I'm just trying to all together now. I guess you're going to tell me if there as we go along. Psalm 9. Psalm 9. We'll turn with me to Psalm 9. I'd like to read a portion of Scripture. It's believed that David is the one who penned this psalm. The circumstances surrounding it are not known for sure. But apparently there had been some deliverance by God pertaining to some national enemy that David had encountered. I will give thanks to the Lord with my whole heart. I will recount all your wonderful deeds. I will be glad and exult in you. I will sing praise to your name, O Most High. When my enemies turn back, they stumble and perish before your presence. For you have maintained my just cause. You have sat on the throne, giving righteous judgment. You have rebuked the nations. You have made the wicked perish. You have blotted out their name forever and ever. The enemy came to an end. In everlasting ruins, their cities be rooted out, the very memory of them has perished. But the Lord sits enthroned forever. He has established his throne for justice, and he judges the world with righteousness. He judges the peoples with uprightness. The Lord is a stronghold for the oppressed, a stronghold in times of trouble. And those who know your name put their trust in you, for you, O Lord, have not forsaken those who seek you. Sing praises to the Lord who sits enthroned in Zion. Tell among the peoples his deeds. For he who avenges blood is mindful of them. He does not forget the cry of the afflicted. Be gracious to me, O Lord. See my affliction from those who hate me. O you who lift me up from the gates of death. That I may recount all your praises, that in the gates of the daughter of Zion I may rejoice in your salvation. The nations have sunk in the pit that they made. In the net that they hid, their own foot has been caught. The Lord has made himself known. He has executed judgment. The wicked are snared in the work of their own hands. The wicked shall return to Sheol, all the nations that forget God. For the needy shall not always be forgotten, and the hope of the poor shall not perish forever. Arise, O Lord. Let not man prevail. Let the nations be judged before you. Put them in fear, O Lord. Let the nations know that they are but men. Let the nations know that they are but men. You and I have a God. The Lord sits enthroned forever. He is a God who rules, reigns, and judges with righteousness and on the basis or cause for justice. He will not forget his people. Tonight, God calls upon America to turn. To return studying on Sunday morning from Jeremiah, and God's call for Judah to repent, that they might not be carried away to Babylon, that they might not experience ruin in Judah and Jerusalem. And as we have proceeded in our study, some have been carried off, but God yet continued to plead with them through Jeremiah to repent and to do as God said to do, that it might be well with them. Their problem was they wouldn't hear. They were obstinate, rebellious. They would not obey the word of the Lord God. People have changed. Tonight, people continue to rebel, to disobey God, to reject Him and His holy word. Where are we? In order for us to find ourselves in a better place, self-evaluation is always good and needed. How can we return? How can we get to a better place? How can we get to where God wants us to be if we're unaware of where we are? We're living in a time of trouble. It seems like society is spiraling out of control. We're experiencing for the past several decades the breakdown of society and the home. There is a growing hostility in the land, hatred toward one another, prejudice, hatred. Our nation is much like a ship, lost at sea, being tossed to and fro without any sense of direction. This evening as we were coming in, some of our men, Tom and Russ and another one, maybe it was Bob, were talking about something that occurred years ago when Tom was in service upon the high seas. There was a ship in distress. They were American sailors, and they had turned the flag upside down. The flag upside down as a signal of distress. The flag is upside down in America. America has turned upside down, calling good evil and evil good. Our nation is like a ship without a rudder. America has a heart problem. That's the underlying problem of it all. There are many symptoms, various things that are going on, but the bottom line is it's a heart problem. It's not a political problem. It's not financial problems per se. It's a problem of the heart. And until we as a nation, as you and I as God's people, resolve the problem of our heart, we will get there. There's a slogan today, let's make America great again. America will never be great without God. The Bible says in Proverbs 29:18, where there is no prophetic vision, the people cast off restraint. You see, where the people, God's a communicator. God has spoken. But the question is, are we willing to open the book? Are we willing to receive His revelation into our hearts and minds and act accordingly? Where there is no vision, the people cast off restraint. That's what is taking place on a very fast scale today. So many in our land have cast off restraint. They exhibit no self-control. Have we been too passive for too long in the war on evil? Edmund Burke is attributed with this quote, the only thing necessary for the triumph of evil is for good men to do nothing. One can only wonder to what extent our country is tonight where it is because we in the Lord's church have been too quiet. We've been too passive. We've been minding our own business, allowing the world to go where no one wants to go in their right mind. It's time for men of God, as we sometimes sing another song, it's time to stand up. Arise, O men of God. Satan is working. Satan is working to divide our country. How do we respond to current events? It would be so easy to become paralyzed by fear and intimidation. Paralyzed by fear and intimidation. Lynn made reference this morning to Nebuchadnezzar. And other perhaps powerful kings who at various times in history tried to intimidate the people of God. Such was the case with Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, Daniel. Intimidation. You conform to us. You conform to the state, or you will suffer the dire consequences. You and I must not become paralyzed by fear and intimidation. We must avoid the temptation to withdraw into isolation. We are in the world. We're not of the world, but we're still in the world. In John chapter 17, Jesus did pray to the Father that He would take His people out of the world. God has us here for a purpose, to be light and to be salt. It would be tempting, perhaps sometimes, based upon the events of our day, to go into our homes, pull the shades, go to bed, pull up the covers, put the pillow over our heads, and just hide. That's not the proper response. You and I must not withdraw. We must not live as though we are on some tiny island. Another temptation that Satan might provide us at this particular point in time is to pursue selfish interest. The evil one could say, the world is a troublesome place. Time is short. Time is short. And because time is short, don't you think it's time for you to grab all the gusto you can have? It's time to really live, the devil will tell you. That's not living. That path leads to death. Don't pursue selfish interest. This morning we saw in the life of Jeremiah what could have been a temptation for him to look out for his own interest. To go somewhere where he could promote himself materially or politically. He didn't do that. He stayed with God and His people. Don't pursue selfish interests. Don't allow your heart to be filled with hatred. Don't allow your heart to be filled with hatred. I'm thankful for the love that permeates the hearts of God's people. don't compromise. You and I have taught from God's Word what is right and what is wrong. In the coming days, weeks, and months, as pressure may be applied to us by our government, or even by some foreign nation, we don't know what the future holds. But whatever the future holds, you and I know what is right, and we must make a determination now, before that moment in time. We need to determine now, this is what I'm going to do. If such and such occurs, I know what I'm going to do. Plan ahead, so that in the moment when you're approached with a crisis, automatically your training and quick planning kicks in, and you know the right response. No, I will not worship your false gods. I will not bow down to any false Allah. Don't compromise. No compromise. What can we do as Christians? You and I need to keep doing good. We need to keep showing compassion and mercy. We need to promote unity and peace. Does God care how we fight in this war against evil? It certainly does. I want our young people and all of us to know that in this battle that we're engaged in against sin and evil, that violence and murder is not the answer. We will never defeat evil using evil. Romans chapter 12, 14 through 21, the Bible says to bless. Here's what you do, Christians. Bless those who persecute you. Bless and do not curse them. Rejoice with those who rejoice. Weep with those who weep. Live in harmony with one another. Do not be haughty, but associate with the lowly. Never be wise in your own sight. Repay no one. Repay some people evil for. Repay no one evil for evil, but give thought to do what is honorable in the sight of all. If possible, so far as it depends on you, live peaceably with all. Beloved, never avenge yourselves. Is that a message that needs to be heard today in our country? Never avenge yourselves, but leave it to the wrath of God. It is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, says the Lord. To the contrary, if your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him something to drink, for by so doing you will heap burning coals on his head. Do not be overcome by evil, but overcome evil with good. You and I can make a difference. Someone has said that we spend a lot of time today in fixing the blame rather than trying to fix the problem. The problem is one of the heart. It's so tempting to allow ourselves to be overcome by evil, by reciprocating in kind. A true Christian was never described, correct me if I'm wrong, a true Christian was never described as ruthless. Do you know of any true Christian who was ever properly described as being ruthless in their conduct, behavior toward others? We must not be ruthless. We must not retaliate. We must not be vengeful. God has given us government, according to Paul's letter to the Romans, for the purpose of punishing those evildoers, rewarding those who do good. And sometimes it seems like the system of justice has failed in America. And that is, well, the case. But there's coming a day, as we read here from Romans chapter 12, there's coming a day, God's going to take care of that. David spoke of that in Psalm 9. He is the one who avenges the blood that is shed lawlessly. You and I need to remember that living under the best of circumstances, we're only here for a little while. But remember this too. Living under the worst of circumstances, we're only here for a little while. So the bottom line is, whether it's good or whether it's not, whether I'm happy or miserable, based on the external circumstances of life, we're only here for a little while. It's going to be okay. Do you hear me? Children and young people, it's going to be okay. God's got this. God's got you in the palm of His hand. And there are limitations imposed. There's only so much that people can do. Jesus Himself said, "Fear not him who can kill the body. Having killed the body, there's nothing more He can do." I tell you who you should fear. Fear God. The one who can destroy both body and soul in hell. Don't fear man. Don't fear the work of the evil one. John says the one who is in you, the one who lives in you, is greater than the one who's in the world. We are but men. And those who set themselves against God's people are enemies. They are but men. And God is powerful and able to address. Limitations are imposed. Whether the sun is shining or whether it's cloudy. Whether it's storming, whether I'm imprisoned, whether I'm tortured, whether I am injured, regardless of what takes place to my body, it is temporary. And there's an eternity. There's an eternity to be with God. The bottom line or the key is this. Young people, middle age and elderly, here's the key. Be thankful. Regardless. Regardless of what we're faced with, if the church should have to go underground as it has in years gone by, whatever we face, whatever we experience, just remember this. Be faithful to your God. And if you be faithful to God, it is going to be okay. I promise you. It's going to be okay. But if you denounce the Lord, if you live to the flesh, if you go back to Egypt, as God told His people in that day in Jeremiah, if you go back to Egypt, it's not going to be okay. You're going to die. And that same message prevails tonight. If you go back to Egypt, you're going to die. If you go back to spiritual Egypt, you're going to die. America has been a great country. God has blessed, beyond description, our nation. nation has become proud. We have become greedy. We have become selfish. And we have lived for self. We have sown our oats. We have sown to the wind. And the time of reaping may be near. God's people may suffer because of the evil of a nation. It's okay. It's okay. God is in control. God's hand. Keep your hand in God's hand. Walk with Him all the way. Not part of the way, but all the way. Follow the Lord as He leads us safely home. Where are you? Where is your heart? Are you with God? Are you aligned with God and His people? Or are you in the world, of the world, dead and dying with the world? Life. God will just give you life. Jesus came to give you life, abundant life. Life is in His Son. Life is in regeneration, renewal of the Spirit, made possible by the blood of the Lamb that atoned our sins at Calvary. Have you accessed that blood by faith, repentance, confession, baptism into the body of Christ? Tonight, God has given you this opportunity to be washed by that blood. If you are a Christian tonight, you've gone back into the ways of the world. You've allowed yourself to become an enemy of God again. Know that God still loves you. God still cares. It may be too late. I don't mean to come across pessimistic. It may be too late for America. It's not too late for you. God is still pleading. God is still begging you to come home. What you're answering me. You need Jesus. You need only what He has to give. When you accept it, by coming to Him, as we stand and sing.